This is NDTV. And you're watching NDTV Hindu.
The PMK tries playing it safe. Dr. Aya says a separate alliance was a wish of the state Congress leaders and not his alone. Meanwhile, Ramadas hits out at the DMK for targeting his party worker, threatens that if anything happens to him, the state police will be held responsible. In a big relief to parents and students, Justice Govindarajan says that the revised fee structure will stay this year. We'll look into recommendations only next year. Say bye-bye to those drag races on the roads of Chennai. The city traffic police gears up to find those who were going beyond 40 kilometers. And a raid, it turns out to be an unfortunate accident in a freak accident in Virudhunagar. Police are among injured. And the men in blue are knocked out of the first match in the triangular series. The Kiwis finished them all out. This is the late night news on NDTV Hindu, where we bring you nothing but the truth. I'm Evelyn Matthew. Now, if you're going to be running late for office tomorrow, God help you, because the traffic cop is all set to shoot you down with their speed guns. And that does not stop with just that. We'll bring you more on that story and the sudden rush at the watering holes in the city tonight. But a look at the national headlines first. An emotional Prime Minister appeals to all parties to join in dialogue for a peaceful Jammu and Kashmir. The Sports Minister says he will answer specifically only to an RTI. An angry opposition walks out of the parliament. The opposition also attacks the centre over Mamata Banerjee's rally in Maoist Lalgarh. They seek an immediate explanation from the Prime Minister. Maharashtra strives to clean up the mess from the oil spill while the government sets a 10-day deadline. And the Infosys chief says he has no problem if his successor is not from the company, and that it's unlikely his kids will ever be a part of Infosys.
It will be easy for an outside person to become the chairman of the company.
In the top political story today, PMK's chief Dr. Ramadas has now said he was only reiterating what some senior Congress leaders have been wishing for when he said that he wanted a separate alliance. This was after hinting at floating a new alliance just 3 days back. The PMK held its governing council meet this morning, and the council gave Ramadas all the powers to decide on the alliance for the forthcoming assembly elections. Dr. Aya said that he only sounded out the opinion of some senior Congress leaders when he spoke of a Congress-led alliance in the state for the next assembly elections.
Congress senior leaders, வயசானவங்கலாம் சொன்ன கருத்துக்களை நான் அங்க சொன்னேன், அவ்வளவுதான். இது என்னுடைய கருத்து இல்ல, அந்த மாதிரி சீனியர் லீடர்ஸ் காங்கிரஸ்ல சில பேர் பேசிக்கிறாங்க அப்படின்ற மாதிரி அந்த கருத்தை நான் அங்க சொன்னேன், அவ்வளவுதான், வேற ஒண்ணு. அரசியல்ல எது வேணாலும் நடக்கலாம். நிரந்தர எதிரிகளும் கிடையாது, நிரந்தர நண்பர்களும் கிடையாதுன்னு ஒரு வசனம் தமிழ்நாட்டுக்கு இருந்து இந்தியாவுக்கும் அது பொருந்தும், அந்த வசனம் இருக்குது, அவ்வளவுதான்.
But it looks like Ramadas's agenda went much beyond that. The Governing Council meet also urged the DMK regime to withdraw all the cases filed against one-year Sangam State President J. Guru alias Kaduvetti Guru. The Governing Council meeting attended by all the top leaders of the PMK, including Ramadas, Dr. Anbumani Ramadas, G.K. Mani, J. Guru, Vadivel Ravanan said their community leader J. Guru was targeted ahead of every election by the state police since the year 1996. The resolution said that there was an attempt of murder on Guru recently and that the PMK leader G.K. Mani had spoken to the top police officials in the state regarding the issue. The resolution defended Guru's speech at Ariyallur, in which he threatened a Gujjar-style agitation to ensure reservations for 1 year. The PMK said that the state police would be entirely responsible if some danger befalls Guru.
அது இந்த தீர்மானத்தில் இருக்குது. இப்போ உங்களுக்கு கொடுக்க போகிற தீர்மானத்தில் அவரை கொல்றதுக்கு கூலிப்படையை ஏவியிருக்கிறாங்க. ஒரு திட்டமிட்டு ஒரு சதி பண்ணி கூலிப்படையை ஏவியிருக்கிறாங்க. அது யார் என்னன்றது காவல்துறை, இந்த உளவுத்துறை தலைமை ஜாஃபர் சேட்டுக்கு நாங்கள் வந்து எங்கள் தலைவர் தொலைபேசியில் பேசியிருக்கிறார். அது யாருன்றது விளக்கமாக சொல்லியிருக்கிறார். அந்த கூலிப்படை யார், எப்போ வந்தாங்க, எதுக்காக, யார் அதை ஏவனதுன்றதெல்லாம் அந்த விளக்கமெல்லாம் சொல்லியிருக்காரு.
Now, if you've been a confused parent wondering just about how much you would have to shell out for your kids' school fees, there's finally some clarity. The revised fees, that's right, the cap on how much schools can charge students will stay this year. The Justice Govindarajan Committee will consider the objections filed by close to 6,000 schools only in the next academic year. Our education reporter Minal Shah tracks the possible aftershocks of this jolt to private schools in Tamil Nadu. Throwing their hands up after their objections to the fee revision has been put on the back burner. School principals in Tamil Nadu say it's the quality of education that will be diluted in the months ahead. Cutting corners to manage a shoestring budget, as stipulated by the Justice Govindarajan Committee, will be inevitable, and students, they warn, will be the victims.
Certainly we will not be able to manage running the school. In case we have to really comply with that fees fixed by the committee, then options are two. One is we have to cut down the strength of both the teaching and supporting staff. Number two, strength of the students in each class also to be increased from 40 to 60. Definitely it will affect the quality of education.
The only saving grace for schools is that the committee has cut short the implementation of the revised fee structure from 3 years to 1.
கட்டணத்தை மறு நிர்ணயம் செய்யக்கோரி 6400 மனுக்கள் வந்திருப்பதையும் அதே நேரத்தில் மாணவர்கள் ஆசிரியர்கள் பெற்றோர்கள் பாதிக்கப்பட்டு விடக்கூடாது என்பதை கருத்தில் கொண்டு இக்குழுவானது மேற்காணும் பள்ளிகளின் நேரில் ஆய்வு செய்து பள்ளிகளை தர நிர்ணயம் செய்து அதன் அடிப்படையில் கட்டணத்தை நிர்ணயம் செய்வதை பற்றி முடிவெடுக்க கால அவகாசம் தேவைப்படுவதால் இவ்வாறு நிர்ணயம் செய்து முடிவெடுக்கப்படும் புதிய கட்டணத்தை 2011-12 கல்வியாண்டில் நடைமுறைப்படுத்தலாம் எனவும் இக்குழு முடிவெடுக்கப்பட்டது.
The Justice Govindarajan Committee's decision has brought a short relief to parents. But now the schools are under pressure of providing quality education without compromising it. So only time will tell if the standard of education does come down or not. In Chennai, Minal Shah, NDTV Hindu.
And Dr. N. Vijayan, General Secretary with the Federation of Matriculation Schools Associations in Tamil Nadu, spoke to us and told us that refunding the fees was definitely not an option.
Returning the question is not there because based on the fees that we collected, we have made payment for the teachers, we have provided an increment to the teachers, we have done a lot of other developmental activities for which we have made use of this fund, and therefore returning may not be possible. That too, close to 5 to 10% of the schools in Tamil Nadu only must have probably charged it. Other schools, only first term fees they collected it.
And Prince Gajendra Babu, General Secretary with the State Platform for Common School System, also spoke to us. He called the revised fee structure a joke, as no details were mentioned on notice boards.
They very well know that the committee's fee structure was not displayed in any of the notice boards. So the schools did not tell to the parents what is the actual fee. The chief educational officers and the inspector of matriculation school must have sent a circular to the school stating that you should prominently display this in the board and we will inspect whether we have displayed it. All these things have not happened. If everything happens like this, it will be a good thing for the parents.
Now here's some bad news for those who love speed. No more racing on the streets of Chennai. No, not even allowed to exceed the speed limit of 40 kilometers per hour. Well, that's the traffic police's diktat to motorists in Chennai. And if you defy the law, you're not going to be let off with a fine or a warning. The Chennai police say that anyone who violates the speed limit more than once will have their license stripped off. Salim brings us this report.
In Chennai city, we have prescribed the speed limit of 40 kilometers per hour for two-wheelers. If they go beyond that, we will take action against them.
This warning from the city police comes after the arrest of 18 youngsters who indulged in drag racing along the Marina Elliott stretch. 18 vehicles were confiscated and the men who possessed these mean machines lodged in Pural prison. With immediate effect, the traffic cops say they will cancel the license of motorists who exceed the speed limit of 40 kilometers per hour during day and 50 kilometers per hour during night.
This is a big offense. They create not only chaos on the road, they cause accident, and the public is quite disturbed. So we are going to be very ruthless with them.
For this purpose, the city traffic police have placed an order for radar guns, which will detect the speed of vehicles. These radar guns can be handheld, vehicle mounted or static. The present speed limit for different vehicles within the city limits are as follows. During day, two-wheelers and cars cannot speed over 40 kilometers per hour, and autos are restricted to 25 kilometers per hour. During night, autos can ply up to 30 kilometers per hour, whereas two-wheelers and cars are restricted to a speed of 50 kilometers per hour. At present, the power to terminate licenses lies with the RTOs. However, the city traffic police have written to the state government seeking powers to cancel licenses on their own. In Chennai, with Salim, Evelyn Matthew for NDTV Hindu. Well, here's what a few commuters in Chennai had to say when we broke the news of this announcement.
My bike, if you take Shanna, it goes around 60 to 70 kilometers per hour. Then what is the reason to buy this kind of bike and to ride on 40 kilometers per hour? Moreover, if you ride in 40 kilometers per hour, the traffic, what will say, that accidents may get reduced. But when will reach my office and all? It depends, because if I ride in 40 kilometers per hour, I will be taking, now I am taking around half an hour. It takes around 1 hour to reach my office. So I think it won't be a good decision right now to implement.
Actually, I am unhappy with the decision they have made. Right now you can see that if they want to restrict us, they have to restrict the manufacturers of the bike. They have to just restrict the vehicle only with the 40 kilometers of speed. All the vehicles is having up to 120 or 120 kilometers per speed. So they can't restrict us by saying that if we are exceeding 40 kilometers, they can cancel our license.
And Additional Commissioner of Police for Traffic in Greater Chennai, Mr. M. Ravi, clarified a few doubts for us on NDTV Hindu.
The two-wheelers and four-wheelers 40 kilometers, autos 35 kilometers during daytime, and just they can increase the speed by 10 kilometers during night. And beyond which, if they go, then they will be penalized. And we have high-tech equipments to detect the speed limit of various motor vehicles. See, high-tech equipments we have right now, we have speed radar guns about 24. We have already placed order for another 12. You know, each speed radar guns actually cost 12.5 lakhs. That actually laser guided speed radar gun that will give the exact speed of the vehicle as well as the number of the vehicle. Apart from this, we are now using ordinary speed radar guns. Certainly this will act as a deterrence.
In other news, in a big catch by the Directorate of Revenue Intelligence today, they recovered 600 kilograms of ketamine valued at 60 crore rupees in the international market that was going in from Chennai to Mumbai before they were to be smuggled to Malaysia and Indonesia. The Additional Director General of the DRI said that this was in fact the biggest seizure made in recent times by the agency, which was keeping a close watch at the Mumbai and Chennai airports. The latest recovery was following information that the drug could be smuggled through specific airports. After a tip-off that a key person belonging to a gang allegedly involved in the smuggling of ketamine was coming to Chennai, officials nabbed him at the airport in the city last week. The arrested person was identified as Raja Pandian and was 33 years old, and investigations are now on to nab his accomplices as well.
The Raja Pandian அப்படின்னு சொல்லிக்கிற அந்த நபரை வந்து சென்னை விமான நிலையத்தில் வைத்து வருவாய் புலனாய்வுத்துறை அதிகாரிகள் தடுத்து நிறுத்தினாங்க. அவரை சோதனையிட்ட பொழுது அவரிடம் வந்து 9 லாரி ரிசிப்ட்ஸ் இருந்தது. அந்த 9 லாரி ரிசிப்டில் 7 லாரி ரிசிப்டுக்கான பொருட்கள் ஆல்ரெடி சென்னைக்கு வந்துருச்சு. அது வந்து வெவ்வேறு லாரி ஆஃபீஸில் இருந்துச்சு. அதெல்லாம் பண்ணி செக் பண்ணி ஆஃபீஸர்ஸ் வந்து அதை பறிமுதல் செஞ்சாங்க. 2 பார்சல் வந்து மும்பையிலே இருந்துச்சு. அதை வந்து மும்பை டிஆர்ஐ ஆஃபீஸர்ஸ் மும்பையிலே வைத்து அதை பறிமுதல் செய்திருக்கிறாங்க. இந்த மொத்த கீட்டாமையினுடைய எடை வந்து 600 கிலோ. சர்வதேச சந்தையில் இதனுடைய மதிப்பு வந்து சுமார் 60 கோடி ரூபாய்கள் இருக்கும்.
In news from the district, 7 persons, including a police inspector and 3 revenue officials, suffered serious burn injuries today after a fire broke out during a raid at an illegal cracker unit near Sattur in the Virudhunagar district. A fire broke out in a storeroom of a building when the officials were conducting their raid. The injured are admitted to a private hospital in Madurai. Meanwhile, the police are investigating the cause of the fire. The Madras Union of Journalists is just about getting over a shock. This after an outrageously intimidating advertisement issued by a fringe outfit based in Srivilliputtur in a Tamil daily blatantly hinted at a violent demonstration outside the office of Tamil magazine Junior Vigadan in Chennai. The advertisement issued by the state president of a caste-based organization has alleged that the magazine has published a defamatory report in one of its columns titled Mr. Karaga. The outfit now has threatened to launch an agitation on a scale that would be a challenge to law and order in Tamil Nadu. The Union of Journalists apprehends that the outfit is serving as a front-end organization for some politically influential persons and has demanded immediate and stringent action against its president for publicly intimidating a media organization. The Union of Journalists also has appealed to the Chief Minister and the Director General of Police to intervene immediately and take action against the Tamil Nadu Ilatha Pilayamar Association President and protect the freedom of press and the law and order in the state. Besides that, the union has also demanded police protection for the office of Junior Vigadan and its employees. A day ahead of the one-day token protest by the TASMAC Workers Union, looks like many are stocking up on their liquor supply. There were long serpentine queues at most TASMAC shops ahead of closing time that was advanced unusually tonight. Rates shot up from the standard MRP prices, some of them even being sold at black as well. The strike by the employees have been on demanding permanent jobs for the workers with several years of experience.
இப்போ கடை அடைக்கிறது அபிஷியல் நீங்க நோட் பண்ணிக்கோங்க எல்லாம் இங்கண்டல எல்லா கடையும் போங்க 8 மணிக்கு க்ளோஸ் பண்ணிருக்காங்க நாளை காலையில 10 மணிக்கு வாங்க திறப்போம் நாளைக்கு ஸ்ட்ரைக் இல்லையா அத பத்தி நாங்க சொல்ல முடியாது சார் நைட் என்ன நான் மூடறதுனா மூடுவோம் திறக்க சொன்னா திறப்போம் நாங்க என்ன பண்றது மொத்தம் 33,000 பேர் ஊழியர் இருக்கோம் திறக்க சொன்னா திறப்போம் அடைக்க சொன்னா அடைப்போம் ஓகே
நான் டிரைவர் சாப்பிடலான்னு வந்தேன் 70 ரூபாய் குவார்ட்டர் இப்போ 120 ரூபான்றாங்க என்னால் சாப்பிட முடியல இப்போ வீட்டுக்கு போக சாப்பிட்டு போகலான்னு வந்தேன் இப்போ 120 ரூபான்றாங்க இது எல்லாரும் கேட்டால் தான் இது வந்து ஒரு வழி போகிறோம் 8 மணிக்கு 10 மணிக்கு மூட வேண்டிய கடையை இன்றைக்கி 7:55 மூடிட்டு 120 ரூபா சரக்கு இஷ்டமாக தான் வாங்க இல்லை போ சைக்குன்றாங்க இது ஒரு முறையா இது
இந்த கோட்டரோட ரேட்டே வந்து 70 ரூபா தான் 100 ரூபா விற்கிறாங்க பிளாக்ல இப்போ நாங்கள் குடிக்காமல் இருக்க முடியல இது என்ன கவர்மெண்ட் ரூல்ஸ்
வேலை முடிச்சுட்டு 9 மணிக்கு வரும் அதுக்கிட்ட 8 மணிக்கு க்ளோஸ் பண்ணிட்டா நாங்கள் என்ன சார் பண்ணுவோம் எல்லாம் எங்களோட வேலை வந்துட்டு எல்லாம் கஷ்டப்பட்டு எல்லாமே நாங்கள் வரோம் இந்த மாதிரி 8 மணிக்கெல்லாம் கடை க்ளோஸ் பண்ணிட்டா அப்புறம் என்ன சார் அர்த்தம்
Well, there were also several brawls for the booze. A few instances of fights were also caught on our cameras.
There was a long serpentine queue right in front of the TASMAC. There was a long serpentine queue right in front of the TASMAC shop in Triplicane. People thronged this TASMAC shop to buy liquors before 10 p.m. But police were forced to pull down the shutters of this TASMAC shop as it created a lot of traffic ooze in this area. And the long serpentine queue not only have forced the police to pull down the shutters, but also some of the shopkeepers residing here have forcibly pulled down their shutters to avoid any untoward incident. And we have one such shopkeeper. So tell us, what made you to pull down your shutters so early today?
Yeah, see, generally we close our showroom by 9:45. Today we had closed it by around 8 p.m. There's a lot of security for last 2-3 hours. Lot of security people are being on the road, and then lot of people are standing in queues in front of our shop. So we thought something different is going to happen, because otherwise no security is being provided for the customers. We are the shopkeepers. There's no customers. There's nothing. No police is being provided. But today there's so much of 2 police vans with so many security people being provided. I am really shocked whether the security is being provided by the government to the customers of the TASMAC shops or for the TASMAC shops. But in contrast, I don't find any security being provided by the government to the same customers of ration shops or anything. There are also so many customers that are there for the government. They are also customers for the government business, whereas this is also a government business. But why so much of security is being, I'm not able to understand the reason. Why there is so much of importance for the customers and the TASMAC shops, whereas nobody is bothered about who are the neighbors of the TASMAC shops, how much they are suffering by this. Will any government organization allow this type of shops next to their organization? Ask them to open a shop near the assembly? Why? Or ask them to open a shop near Greenways Road or near Rajaji Hall or near central government or near central station? Why? Whereas an ordinary neighbor can get affected by the TASMAC shops. That government is not bothered. Thank you.
Thank you for joining us, sir. See, worried businessmen talking to us because of the kiosk that was created here due to the long serpentine queue. Back to you.
Well, obviously, shopkeepers there near those TASMAC outlets, very, very angry there and inconvenienced to a great deal. Well, still ahead on the bulletin, the main opposition says that the House is supreme and not the RTI after the Sports Minister asks for an RTI for further clarification. And when asked about the next prince of the software kingdom, Narayan Murthy hints he could be from outside his family.